So we are going to talk today about sports and adventure tourism in Israel. This, in my humble opinion, is a very undersold aspect of Israel. That's because there's so much on offer, and you can really do some quality bookings for these outdoor and adventure type things. So all I can say is let's get a start on it. And there we go. I'm going to be doing that after the videos, only because I know that there's a lag on here sometimes. So now, I could just leave you with that video because it kind of shows everything, but haha, you're not that lucky. You've got to listen to me talk for a little while. There is one thing, I'm going to be doing this in sections, okay? We're going to go north, center, and south, but there is one really cool thing that Israel has that covers the entire country that I have to tell you about, which is the Israel National Trail. This is, trail was created in 1995. You've got the total length of this trail is 1,051 kilometers, or if you're like me, 631 miles. It starts all the way up in the north at Kibbutz, and it goes all the way down to the south, which is Eilat, at the tip of the country. If people do this, they say the average of walking the whole thing is between 45 and 60 days. So I realize that not a lot of people have the opportunity to do something this epic. However, it is all broken up into little sections, and you can do, you know, a mile, 20 miles, 100 miles. It really is up to you. But what makes this so special, it takes you through so many different areas, and you can see the history and see the beautiful landscapes. And National Geographic did name this trail on its 20 most epic trails list for, I can't remember exactly when it was a couple years ago, but it's still worth mentioning what an amazing trail this is. And it does cover the entire length. You can hike, you can bike. And what's really cool about this is, in most of the trails in Israel that you hike or bike, is they do have trail angels along the way. There are special apps that you can get where you can contact them. So along the entire length, people are there to help you. And it really is a wonderful experience for anybody who loves the outdoors. So that's the entire length of the country. However, the easiest thing for me to do is break things up into north, center, and south, because they each have very unique offerings for the sporting and adventure themes. Okay, so yes, the Galilee. It is the very green, hilly, lush area of Israel, and there are lots of different adventure things that you can do. If you look here, you will see the map and little thing of the Gospel Trail. Now, the Gospel Trail is a really cool hiking trail that was created to, believe it or not, follow in the footsteps of Jesus. So it goes from Nazareth all the way up to Capernaum on the Sea of Galilee. You don't have to do the whole thing. You can do it in little fits and starts. I've actually seen this trail myself, especially right after it first opened. It's well marked. It goes through beautiful scenery. You can hike this. You don't have to have a particular interest in anything biblical, because there are so many beautiful sites and interesting different archaeological and history marks along the way that you will be very happy with this little hike. Okay, now in the video you saw, and this is one of the big places in Israel that is on my bucket list. In fact, I think Menara Cliff Adventure Park was one of the first places I saw that I really said, oh my gosh, I have to go to this. Listen, I'm not a big biker, I'm not a big hiker, but I do love my adrenaline stuff. And Menara Cliff Adventure Park just looks perfect for this. You can abseil and zip line, and it's got this great alpine coaster and all sorts of different activities for you and the family to enjoy. It is well worth a visit there. And another one of the great outdoor activities you can do is an experience on the Jordan River. Now, from what I've been told, the whitewater is sort of seasonal when you can actually get a fast flowing stream. This year probably would have been a really good year for it, unfortunately, because Israel has had lots and lots of rain this year. So I bet the whitewater is really, really good right now. But even if you're just doing a slow, leisurely kayak down the Jordan River, just think about that for being able to boast on for your bucket list that you've actually done kayaking down the River Jordan. And there is a really amazing nature reserve up in the northern part of the Galilee, right around the Golden Heights area, which is Hula Valley National Park. This is one of the two major bird centers in Israel. I will cover the other one a little later. Hula Valley, you have to understand that sports and adventure, yeah, but the whole bird watching thing and the only enjoying the outdoors and the nature of Israel is really good in Israel, because the bird migration naturally goes through Israel. All the birds flying south will go via Israel, because it's the little hunk of land that actually connects the Asian and European continent to Africa. So you will get a lot of birds migrating in the spring and the autumn, but listen, all year round, you can see some really good bird watching. And you can rent bikes, they've got great trails, really good for outdoor activity. And last, we can't mention the north without mentioning Israel's very unique aspect, is that you can go skiing in Israel. Now, I wouldn't recommend probably somebody booking specific ski trip for this, because the one thing you can never tell is what the snow is going to be like. However, if you've got clients over there for some winter sun and they do want to do something different, check out the snow reports from Mount Hermon, and you can go up there and have a ski. One of my really cool things I love to say is the fact that technically, if you really wanted to, you could ski in the morning, get in a car, drive down to the Dead Sea, and have a float in the Dead Sea in the same day. It would be difficult, as in there'd be a lot of driving involved, but that is kind of a really unique, cool thing actually do. So now we're going to move right down to the central region, which mainly we're covering Tel Aviv and Jerusalem in the central region. So let's. And so, yes, Tel Aviv is an active city. There is no doubt about it. When you get over there, you will end up walking a ton. You can do all sorts of different things. Like, I had to mention this one because, like, every Thursday night, you can actually join a rollerblading group that goes through Tel Aviv during the nighttime. I don't know if it's, obviously it's not running right now, but it will start up again. And can you just imagine, as long as you show up with, I think you've got to show up with knee pads, elbow pads, and a helmet. I think that's the requirements of joining this group. But can you imagine the fun of late night going through Tel Aviv on rollerblades with a big group of people? I just think that is so cool. Also, Segway tours are very, very popular in the city. You will always see Segways when you're on the beach going up and down. It's a great way of running around. It's also a lot of fun. And because it's on the Mediterranean, obviously Tel Aviv is really good for water sports, everything from surfing, kite surfing, just swimming to stand-up paddleboarding. When you're there, in fact, the last time I was there in September, it is so pretty because you're looking at the beautiful ocean and you see all these kite surfers going around. It just is very, very pretty when you're watching it. But you've got a lot of options, and the whole beachfront, there's places you can rent equipment. So it's very easy to get all this stuff when you're over there. It's also really big on sporting festivals. They normally do biking festivals. They run the Tel Aviv Marathon most years. So those who are interested in these more organized sporting activities, it's very easy to set up packages and things when you're talking about something like that. Now we're going to head over very quickly to Jerusalem, which also has its own wonderful aspects for people who want sporting and outdoors. First of all, there is, even if you don't want to walk, Jerusalem is a walking city. Most of the time when you're going around the old city, you are going to have to walk. There are going to be stairs involved, although it is important to mention this, that they have done a lot of work in the recent past, making the old city accessible for those who need to use wheelchairs and scooters and things like that. So that is kind of cool. But by default, Jerusalem is a walking holiday, whether you want it to be or not. But do you want to know something? You don't even realize how much you're walking when you're over there. Everywhere you go, you're seeing all this fascinating stuff, and all of a sudden you realize you put in your, 15,000 steps in a day, and you didn't even realize you were doing it because your brain was just so engaged with everything that you're seeing. Jerusalem also has great options for like Segway tours and bike tours. And actually, the only place I've ever been on a Segway was actually in Jerusalem, and I loved it. It was such a fun experience doing this, and hopefully next time I go back, I really want to do it again because it's just such a nice way to go around and see the city. Now, this was something I found for a biking option, for a tour for a bike option, which is a midnight tour through Jerusalem.
Zion train is a coming. Yes, I know that from the start, yeah. Zion train is a coming. One by one, yeah. This is a one-way ticket to Zion. Man, you know, he's strong like a lion.
So pack your bags, get on board. This train is leaving now for sure.
Zion train is a coming. Yes, I know that from the start, yeah.
Yes, I know. Yes, I know.
It was great. I was so worried. I didn't think I'd be able to do it. And it was actually, he made it very easy.
A great bar mitzvah experience.
Recommend it to anyone who's coming to Jerusalem to do midnight biking.
So pack your bags, get on board. This train is leaving now for sure.
2, 3, 4, 5. Hi, I've turned my volume down a little bit. I guess there were some sound problems, but please stick with me, and I'm sorry if it was a little bit too loud before, but if you've seen me talk before, being loud is not something I have any difficulties with. Anyway, so Jerusalem also is great for festivals. I mean, one of the things, and I realized I didn't put a slide here, was the Jerusalem Marathon is a very, very popular activity that happens every year. There's people that you can book packages if you want to participate, even if you just want to go over. And for instance, if you do have any runners that want to do, please contact me. Now, I will put you in touch with a tour operator that would be able to help you with creating a package for this. But, you know, one of my favorite sporting activities is obviously lifting glasses, and these two things that are listed, shown here are good examples of all the amazing festivals that Jerusalem actually has. At the top, that's the Jerusalem Beer Festival, which usually happens in summer, probably more midsummer, and it's either, correction, I can't remember which one is which, but these are both summer events that take place. So up top is the Jerusalem Beer Festival, and at the bottom is the Jerusalem Wine Festival. So even if you've got clients who don't want to do strenuous activities, and I highly recommend doing a little tips of your hand. That's a good exercise to do, I think, as well. Anyway, so through the center. Now, this is a region where I'm really going to go into a little bit more detail. Now, why? Let's face it, our summer holidays, I don't think you guys are going to, most people are going to be going anywhere this summer. The industry is going to start to really push back probably once the winter sun holiday season comes about. And this is why Israel's southern region is so important, because the south of Israel can give your clients that guaranteed sunshine, activity, warmth that they need when they're going on a winter holiday. And there are going to be people who are really going to need this type of break by the time we start traveling again. And Israel's southern region is perfect for that first wave of people going on holiday again. So. Okay, so let's talk south and what your clients can do in the winter. Now, I'm sorry, but the Dead Sea should be on everybody's bucket list because it is amazing when you're there. The Dead Sea, you're guaranteed some pretty good weather all year round. It's very hot in the summer, but even in the winter, it's mild enough to go in the water still. And this is also a wonderful location when you go on these active holidays to possibly end with a day or two at the Dead Sea, because nothing relaxes your body and gets you more chilled out and soothes your aching muscles like the whole Dead Sea experience. Mud is really cool. You put it on. Normally they have warming tubs even next to the water. And the mud is very good for your circulation and your skin. You go in, you get cradled by the water, and it's a wonderful way to relax after an active holiday. So don't be afraid when you do these nice big activity breaks is to give them a day at the end of the Dead Sea. Let them relax, rewind, recuperate, and then they can head back. And right by the Dead Sea is Masada, which offers its own unique activity for those who like hiking. Masada is on top of a big plateau, a mountain right next to the Dead Sea. And the original way of getting to the top was taking the snake path, which is a winding path that goes all the way to the top. And one of the amazing activities you can do is show up there before dawn. They will give you little headlamps so you can see where you're going. And you walk up the snake path in the dark so you can go to the top and see the amazing sunrise over the mountains of Jordan at the Dead Sea. One of my first trips over to Israel was, well, I think it was my second trip, was in 2010. And I had 2 people in my group actually get up to do this whole sunrise in Masada thing. One of them made it up in 45 minutes and the other person was about an hour and a half. So it all depends on what your fitness level. But the light at the end of the tunnel is being able to have this gorgeous sunrise and know that you've had a really good workout first thing in the morning. Also next to the Dead Sea is a wonderful park. It's called Ein Gedi Nature Reserve. And Ein Gedi is an oasis in the middle of this stark desert. It is got great paths you can go down. You can see lots, you can see hyraxes and ibexes and other local wildlife. And you have these beautiful waterfalls. You can even, take a dip in the pools. It is a wonderful natural experience and something that everybody would really enjoy. There's also activities around the Dead Sea area. One of the big ones is the annual Dead Sea Gran Fondo race. This happens every year. And again, if you have clients that are interested in things like this, please do not hesitate to ask me and I can point you in the right direction of how you can get packages organized. One of the big areas is the Ramon crater. Now there's a little small village on the edge of the crater called Mitzpe Ramon, and that's where most of the accommodation is. But the Ramon crater is not a crater that's been created through like a meteor strike or something like that. This is the world's largest wind and water erosion crater. There's lots of trails, hiking, biking, and lots of outdoor activities on offer in this region. The obligatory horseback riding you can do, camel riding. Again, that's one of the other things on my bucket list is the camel riding. I still haven't been on a camel. I am definitely going to do my camel ride when I'm in Israel at some point. Cycling is also very, very popular. Now, in the Negev, they have worked very, very hard the last few years to, one, make sure all the trails are groomed, easy to follow. And one of the really kind of cool things is the fact that they understand the importance of safety. And most of the area that is covered by trails, there's a good possibility you will get like mobile reception there. They worked on this because it increases your safety, and the more safe you can feel, the more adventure and more fun you're going to have, because you don't want to, you're more likely to feel relaxed and enjoy instead of being overly worried about what if something happens, especially when you're in the middle of a desert. But great trails, good options, easy to rent bikes while you're there. And for your first time, there's lots of different tours that you'll be able to go to do this as well. And okay, this is my little thing because I love astronomy. There's nothing more than I love is looking at the stars and having an experience where I can get constellations pointed out, maybe see a planet or two. And it is a very popular activity for the desert. And there are many different companies that you can book like an evening guide to, where the guide will sit and they'll point out with a laser like all the different constellations. They use telescopes. It is quite magical. And because there's very little light pollution, hardly any pollution as well, you get these clear, amazing skies with the stars just right. So well worth it when you're down there. And to end up, we're going to go down to Eilat and the area around Timna Park and Eilat. Now, Timna Park is a big national park that has many hiking trails, biking trails, lots of windswept canyons to explore. There is a little lake around here that you can, go and take a look at. King Solomon's mines are there, so you can see one of the world's oldest copper mine. But wonderful, spectacular landscapes when you're down there. You can walk through these windswept canyons like you see on the left, and the Israel Trail that I talked about at the beginning, this is where it ends. So it's one of the areas you can go to, but lots of different outdoor activity options. Now, in Eilat itself is probably one of the favorite sites that I've never actually got to go to myself, but then I will get to go there, which is Dolphin Reef. Now, Dolphin Reef offers you the opportunity to snorkel, scuba dive, or just interact with dolphins, but it does have a difference. First of all, the dolphins aren't there to give you a show. They're there to live, to enact. And the dolphins at Dolphin Reef, they're not forced to interact with people. Any kind of interaction you get are at the dolphin's own free will. In fact, they can and do occasionally jump their fence, but they come back because they've cultivated this amazing relationship with the dolphins that allow people to do the diving and the snorkeling with them. And it is, when I do get down there, it is definitely something I'm going to be doing. But it's on the Red Sea, so you have got just a plethora of different water sports you can enjoy. Boat rides and parasailing. You can do the SUPs again, the stand-up paddle boarding. You can go windsurfing, kite surfing. Because the Red Sea is just that type of place, lots of different options that are loads of fun. And you've also got things to visit like the Coral World, which is the underwater observatory. Now, the big photo is actually their shark tank, which is huge. But there's a lot of different things you can go and see. So if you're not that keen of going into the water with a snorkel or scuba, you can go to some place like this and get a real feel for what the ocean life is when it's there. And you can't talk about it a lot without talking about scuba diving. What makes Eilat different than the surrounding area for scuba diving is, one, any instructor, any guide you're going to get, they're going to be very proficient in English. You'll be able to speak to them. Also, Israel does have, like, their hospital there has a decompression chamber. So if you are an advanced diver and something did happen, there are medical facilities in Eilat to deal with anything that can happen to you in the water. That is not something that's shared a lot by the surrounding area. So it is a safer, more logical place to get your PADI license, to learn how to scuba dive. And obviously the underwater world there is just spectacular. And one of the cool things is also Jeep tours. Now, this is where I've done my Israel Jeep tour back in 2010. And it's bouncy. There were a few women on there that was kind of built like me, and boy, you bounced all over the place. But oh my God, was it fun. And what was really cool is they do, we also had lunch included with our tour where we had the Bedouins meet us at the lunch spot and they made us the flatbreads, and you had this lovely fresh lunch in the middle of a desert oasis. We had a little tree to sit under. It just is amazing and so much fun. And no matter how hard I bounced, I still want to bounce some more. It was well worth that. And last, we've got this amazing birding center down in Eilat. Now, Eilat's birding center is the same kind of concept as Hula Valley is, in the fact that the birds pass through there for the migration. Both of these areas will have festivals at different times of the year. I think Eilat normally has theirs in the spring, and Hula is normally in the autumn. But to be able to go see this incredible array of birds, and you're right by, it's virtually right next to Eilat, so there's no long transfers, and you can stay in a lovely 5-star hotel and still get back to nature like this. So options are absolutely incredible. And that is my quick tour through the sporting and adventure. Now, this week I can actually do something that I wanted to do. We've been blessed by OTT, and they've let us put our training modules back on for like the 3 months. And I think we've still got another month or so left. So if you would like some more in-depth training, you can just go to israelforagents.co.uk, and you'll be able to do all the courses, which it covers a little bit more than I did, but without the manic presentation style. So who knows, if you haven't got me going crazy with my words when you're watching it, you might actually get a little bit more from it. But also, in the very near future, I'm going to be emailing all of you a new platform and a new type of training you can do, because we are very soon to be launching just a module about all of Israel on the VFAM site. But as soon as that goes live, I will be sending you the link, so you'll be able to go on a little virtual fan trip as well. So that's it. Now, the main thing to remember is the fact that I am here to help you. Funny thing is, I am on holiday next week. I've decided to take a week off after my webinars because it might take half an hour to do, but for goodness sakes, it takes me hours and hours and hours to put these things together. So I'm giving myself a little mental break. But I am here to help you. Israel is so valuable of a destination for everybody. It covers so many different themes and topics. And, especially for somebody like a family, you may have somebody that mom may just want to go and sit on a beach, but dad wants to do something active, or vice versa. Or you have kids who want to. Israel really is that all-encompassing destination that allows you to make everybody in the family happy. And they've had probably less of a COVID impact than the rest of the world. So when you go over there, you'll know that they are very careful. They're going to be social distancing. When it all comes back, Israel will be a very, very good choice for your clients to go to. As always, thank you so much for joining in. And I hope you've enjoyed this. I've certainly enjoyed speaking to you. And I'm here if you need me. Never be afraid to email me, ask me any question. I am here to help. We are on the way back into the real world, guys, pretty quick. So just stay safe, stay healthy, and know that I really appreciate you taking the time to listen to me rabbit on to my screen here. It's really been a good lifeline for me. I miss seeing all of you so much in person. And just take care of yourself. And I think that's about it. Sharon, did you want to say anything? Oh, Sharon's just gonna kiss goodbye. So please take care of yourself. And now I finally get to go online and see everybody because I don't look at my videos. Hello, hello. And we've got, God, I've got so many, I can't believe all these wonderful people from the other IGTOs are in. Oh, Lucy, hi, hi, Linda. Hello, Avital and Peter. And oh, somebody from China's there. So I'm going through and I'm actually looking, Allison, hi. This is so great. I love seeing all your names. So thank you so much. Oh, Darren, hi, Daryl, I mean, and Maurice. Hi, Rita. Have I missed anybody? If I haven't said your name, please don't think badly of me. It is so great to share time with you. I'm gonna end this now, let you go back to your real world. Oh, one last thing. There is a training seminar this afternoon at 3:30 for the Sixth Senses Shaharut, which is a brand new property that's going to be opening in the desert this autumn. If anybody would like to participate in that, please send me an email and I will send you the link so you can join in. I will be there because I definitely want to learn about this unbelievable new property that they've got opening up. So I'm going to let you go. Thank you so much for your time, and I will be emailing you, and if there's anybody who wants something specific for your clients, ask. I am so, so happy to help in any way I can. Have a lovely day and take care, and bye. Bye, bye, bye.